We all love the idea of owning a true American classic, a muscle car, a vintage sports car, or an old-school luxury cruiser. But most of these icons have become rare and pricey. Still, not every classic has vanished. Some gems are still out there, affordable and easy to find. In this video, we're breaking down 5 iconic American classic cars that remain surprisingly easy to pick up today. 1970-1974 Plymouth Barracuda. When it comes to cars built during the heyday of the muscle car era, the Plymouth Barracuda does sometimes go forgotten, but it's still one of the most iconic American cars ever made. There were a huge number of Barracuda variants, including a few that had proper big block V8s. Perhaps the most famous variant is the Hemi-Cuda, which became a part of pop culture thanks to a 1971 model's appearance in the classic movie Vanishing Point. As it was a model that sold fairly well, the Plymouth Barracuda of the early to mid-1970s is a car you can find on the used market quite easily. Of course, the most desirable models are a bit more difficult to get hold of due to them being rare. But if you're willing to settle for a more regular model, you really can pick one up without too much searching around. 1983-1996 Chevrolet Corvette. The Chevrolet Corvette is easily America's most iconic sports car. It's one of the longest-running car models in the entire world, and it's been renowned for generations for being able to provide a great sports car experience. It's also known for having some brilliant performance variants over the years. This includes the turbocharged Callaway models, which have since passed into legend as some of the best factory-endorsed tune cars ever. While pretty much any generation of the Corvette has iconic status, the C4 generation that was made between 1983 and 1996 is one of the easiest to get hold of. You might be hard-pressed to find a Callaway model, but you'll see any of the regular variants of the C4 generation Corvette on the used market all the time. 1970-1979 Lincoln Continental. The Lincoln Continental is one of the most iconic American luxury cars of all time. It was loved by business people, heads of state, and celebrities alike thanks to how plush and cosseting it is. While most people would think of the Continentals from the 60s as being the ultimate expression of that car, the Mark IV generation from the 70s is a great luxury car as well. Its appearance on the Lockdown episode of the Grand Tour has probably only helped to give it a place in pop culture too. For such a luxurious and expensive car in its day, it's surprisingly easy to get hold of one. There are always Mark IV Continentals for sale on the used market. You might have to search for a little bit to find one that's in really great condition, but even one that's slightly rougher on the edges will be worth it for that feeling of classic American luxury. 1970-1981 Pontiac Firebird. The Pontiac Firebird of this generation was a sibling to the Chevrolet Camaro, built on the same General Motors platform. Because of this, it shares a lot of the great qualities of the Camaro from the same era. This includes having some great V8 engine variants. The most desirable version was definitely the Trans Am, a car that's become ingrained in pop culture thanks to its starring role in the movie Smokey and the Bandit. Like its Chevrolet Camaro sibling, the Pontiac Firebird sold very well. That means there are loads of them still around, making it a very easy car to find on the used market. Of course, if you want an immaculate Trans Am like the one in Smokey and the Bandit, you'll likely need to wait around for a little while to find a good one. 1971-1978 Cadillac Eldorado. There's nothing that screams American luxury more than a big Cadillac. The Eldorado is the biggest, most opulent, and most iconic of those big Cadillacs from the brand's heyday. The 1970s models were the zenith of that American-style opulence. This was especially the case in the early 70s before the oil crisis hit. After that point, the Eldorado became a smaller car, and its big V8s were neutered in the name of efficiency. The Eldorado was one of the most expensive American cars of its day, but surprisingly, it's quite easy to find them on the used market. Much like the Lincoln Continental it was a rival to, you might have to do a little bit of searching to find one that's in excellent condition, but even one that's rough around the edges will give you that great American luxury car feel.